have you been part of a 12-step fellowship and done the 12 steps?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have. Obviously in rehab, that was a big part of a rehab, the going to meetings, NA meetings. And when I got out of rehab, I stayed a part of the NA meetings for about another 2.5 years. And they were
Yep.
vital in those first couple of years when I got out of rehab because, like I was saying before, you take out the addiction and then what are you going to do? Because when also the addiction, you remove the addiction, you've got to remove the friends, you've got to remove everyone associate. So then if that was all you did, what friends have you got? Maybe some people have got high school friends that didn't use. I didn't have anybody. So I needed to find a whole new group of friends. In initially the rooms, NA rooms were that was my social life, right? That was my connection with people. And I'd go 3 times a week sometimes. And it was great. It was great for my first couple of years. And then I found it I just didn't really need them anymore. I found my community and my people within the gym, and I built up a really good group of friends
Mm.
that some of them are still friends to this day. And yeah, I didn't need to go and talk about my addictions, my past crimes and all that anymore. I felt like I'd done that enough.
Yeah. And look, the reason I asked you is because in your terminology of how you are speaking, you're saying a few of those 12-step things, and it sounds like you're
But
living
they
your
never
life.
you
Yeah.
can those 12-step things they say in there, you can use in life, you can use in. They're
Everyone
so
should.
applicable. Yeah, they're so applicable. Yes, but
They
that's where I
really are.
learned them from.
Yeah. And, like you're saying, getting out in nature, slowing down at times,
Mm,
connecting with community,
yeah,
supporting others,
so powerful.
disconnecting,
Yeah,
all of that, reflecting, all of these sorts of things that help us
yeah.
live a better life.
Because I know people, right, that aren't addicts, but I reckon they live their life like addicts just without the drugs, right?
Yeah.
Because they are so disconnected or they're caught up or they're so disconnected from their feelings and it's just they're angry all the time or they're stressed all the time or they're just like,
Resentment was one of the words you just used,
resentment.
like,
Yes,
mm,
resentment. Yeah.
in people, places, and things.
Yes, yeah, and I see it all the time in people, and I recognize it obviously because we learnt so much about it in rehab and in the rooms.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I have that knowledge now because, I'm not using anymore and I don't use drugs, but then occasionally resentment will creep in my life and I'll be like, "Oh, wait, hold
Mm,
up. No, I know that feeling. Like, we don't need that. Why am I feeling resentful?"
yeah.
Let's look at my own actions. What would make me feel like that? I can do
And
some self-reflection and
yeah. And what am I grateful for? That was the other thing you mentioned, your
100%.
gratitude.
100%. I have fallen off from doing that. I used to write it every day, every morning. And then I found just because I'm getting up at 3:45, it'd be like, oh, I'd have to get up at 3:40 to do that. And it just kind of fell out of my daily routine. But sometimes I do it in the evening and I still think it's such a valuable tool.
Yeah, and look, I am a little bit like you. Like, I've been in the program for 2.5 years myself, and sometimes I'll speak with my sponsees and I'll say, if you're feeling all over the place, sit down, write an inventory,
Mm,
write a gratitude list, and then I'll hang up the phone and go, "Oh, man, that was fucking good advice. Why am I doing that myself?"
yeah.
Like, it's embarrassing at times, but to be able to be reflective of that, and if am feeling off, to be able to sit
Mm,
down and write it out, I've got the tools there if I
yep.
feel I need them. And
Yep.
when I come across my greatest challenges, that's when I really lock in and I'm able to touch back on those tools and that knowledge that I've got.
Yeah. Yeah. I think rehab is a great place for, to learn a lot about yourself, I think a
Yeah.
lot of people could do with rehab.
Yeah.
Despite whether or not they've got a chronic drug addiction.